I would imagine that there are several ways of selecting who gets to start.
Okay,
do it by turning over?
Yeah, you turn it over and do this. The ideal way to do it, and because it shouldn't be a stigma on double six and say whoever gets double six gets to start, because that can kill the strategy.
Right.
I mean, I have to be able to choose what is my right.
Right.
Take off and not have to do it because I am forced to,
right.
because I had the chance to draw number six. So what you do is you say, okay, we're gonna come to normally you say whoever picks up the highest number gets.
Is that the total or just
it's
one?
The total.
Let's just try it. Let's see what happens if we get
whoever gets the highest number.
Now, let's say that it's. Okay. Oh, okay. You're getting
Check
4.
This out. Suppose that we get both this.
Oh, right, because that's both 9.
But I got the highest one, 6.
Ah, that's right.
6
okay.
Control 5.
Right.
So I say, okay, I will be. I will have the post. I will be the lead.
And in that lineup, you didn't have a double 6, so it will be interesting.
Now that would be the first, because this is a demonstration, like for. It's a warm-up activity of saying this is what domino is all about. It's not what it seems to be. It's not a kid's game only. There's strategy here. There's a lot of mental processes that take place when you're playing dominoes, and that's why dominoes is considered today, if not one of the most mind-developing games out there. It's a thing that you can do at school. It's going to mentally, it's going to challenge the kids towards, in places that you never dreamed of. I don't think there is an exercise at school today that you can do that can challenge kids as dominoes can do.
And as a teacher and as a student who went through backgammon and chess,
yes,
I have to agree that this is collaboration.
It is collaboration. It's a teamwork effort, and we were going to develop communication in the enterprise that we're trying to develop here. We're trying to become a team, and we're going to communicate each other. We're going to use the domino standard communication procedures, but in doing so, we will learn also. We haven't spoken, and we will, about how psychological it gets. There comes a time when you are so familiarized with your partner that you will be able to diagnose everything that is happening only by how his demeanor is.
Mm-hmm.
And of course it's easy to see when someone gets upset, right, and you know something is not going wrong, or when something is smiling and you say something is going very right.
Right.
Oh, I know, I'm talking about almost imperceptible.
Mm-hmm.
Little things, sometimes muscular, that gives you an idea. You learn to read that person as a book. It's a communication that goes very, very deep.
So you might find that you know how many stone deficiencies.
Oh, no. I'm talking about an ability to almost read the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not exaggerating. Right. You can basically read every thought.
Mm-hmm.
I know what he's thinking. He's got this difficulty because he doesn't know I have the double 4. If he knew, then he would play this. But if he doesn't know, okay, maybe he's gonna take the risk and assume that I do have it, because his other possibilities are take you to a dead end. So he's gonna play the 4, and boom, there he comes with the 4. You're able to elaborate the same thinking your partner is doing, because you know how he projects himself in the game.
And again, it's probability, because if you don't hold the 4, there's a 1 in 3 chance that your partner has it.
Exactly.
The double 4.
Yes. Mm-hmm. and because sometimes domino itself will dictate what is your best move, even when you have no more information. Because you say, I know if I play the 6, I will lose. My other chance is 5. So I don't know what's going to happen with the 5. I have no information so far of what is going to happen. I know what's going to happen with the 6 though, and I'm going to lose. So the 5 is going to give me a 50-50 chance of, well, this is going to happen. Okay, so this is what goes around dominoes. What I'm going to do is, for the next video, we're going to start by the A. And starting by the A means, how do we shuffle, choose our first 7 tiles, how can we arrange them, and how we take off. Okay. We're going to see different hands, draws, and we're going to see which is the best tile to take off in each of the cases, and that will allow students for training as to how to start a black domino game once you have chosen your 7 tiles. We're going to speak a little bit about why 7 tiles, how it evolved to that. Do you have any idea how it evolved to be that? I got the answer here.
I'm ready to hear it. It came from dedos.
Yeah. It's a spread dice adding a blank side. Yeah, if you open, you're gonna have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the blank came later. It seems to have happened like in math, where the numbers were there and the 0 came later. I think it was the Indians who got the 0 there.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's very similar to dice.